and coercion.
With me now, former State Department official David Tafuri and retired Lieutenant Colonel Bob McGinnis. David, I want to start with you first. True or false, if this argument is framed, as the president said, Syria versus ISIS, it essentially seems to mean that both survive. Is that true?
Well, President Obama is right to criticize Putin. Putin's comments on 60 Minutes last night were very slick. He claims he's doing what he's doing in Syria to defend the legitimate government. But there's nothing legitimate about the Assad regime at this point. The Assad regime no longer controls even half the country anymore. The Assad regime has killed hundreds of thousands of people in Syria. And most importantly, Russia and Assad cling to the fact that Assad was elected, but those elections were not fair. If there were free and fair elections across Syria, there is no way Assad would win. Therefore, Putin is moving forward with his actions in Syria for other reasons, to expand the influence of Russia and to defend the last place where it has influence in the Middle East, which is Syria. He's going to cling to that using these excuses that he laid out on 60 Minutes last night. The President Obama, is right to criticize him.
So Colonel, right to criticize Vladimir Putin. One thing I want to ask you, though, point blank, is Russia getting what it wants? That is to say, we had the PM, UK PM David Cameron, also Secretary of State John Kerry, more or less complicit in this idea that if Assad is removed, transition has to be allowed. Therefore, there's more time for this kind of power vacuum to go in Assad's favor.
Yeah, certainly Putin wants to be in control of whoever proxy government they put in place of Assad once he is gone. But keep in mind, I think Putin's broader effort here is defensive. He looks at the flood of immigrants created by ISIS and the rest of the turmoil in the Middle East going into Western Europe, and he knows they're turning them down. Now, what if they end up, Russia's fought a 20-year war in the Caucasus. They don't need more immigrants from the Middle East to fire that up. So that's a significant concern. His work with Iran, his work with Syria is all designed not only to solidify his position as naming the next proxy, but also to solidify energy, arms markets, and I think he's looking for a broader support. There is a Christian genocide going on in that region, and he would like to be the hero there. So you've got a host of issues, a host of motivations.
So, sorry, you're saying, Colonel, that it's more than just annoying the U.S.?
Oh, of course. But Putin looks like the hero here. Obama's policy has been dismal. ISIS has continued to have its caliphate more than a year after the fact. The Iraqi security forces, which we were going to get to retake the cities in Iraq, have totally failed. The Syrian rebels we trained at about 10 million a shot now, according to General Austin, haven't done much. And of course, now we have I suppose the metastasization of ISIS all over the region and even infecting Western Europe and the U.S. So this is a very serious issue. Putin looks like he has a solution. He's in there to give that solution, and Obama looks very weak.
Yeah, he is there when the U.S. is not. A point well made. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Bob McGinnis, thank you so much. David Tafuri joining me there as well.